Hi, Father Hall here. Want to send out a Mother's Day message to all of our mothers out there, and I've got a couple images that I want to share with you to help me in doing that. Mothers are a great mystery. Mothers are a great mystery, a wonderful mystery that we have in motherhood. And who can I hold up as a better example of that mystery of motherhood than the Blessed Virgin Mary? Right, and such a great mystery. So I want to just explain a few things about this image here that show the reality of really who mothers are. And I know that we have our reasons for stretching the meaning of this day, of Mother's Day, really beyond its intentions. But let's be honest, folks. This day is for mothers who raise children, right? For mothers, for females, and let's look at. Let's look at the normative design for that. So here you have in this image, the Blessed Virgin Mary. And she is a human person, no doubt. Mary is a human person, and it shows. When you look at Mary, you see the mystery of the human person, and especially the mystery of mothers, because Mary is a very special mystery for us. A human person like you and I, but chosen certainly, like you and I are chosen in a certain way. But Mary is the mother of Jesus, who is God. And who can argue that? If we start denying that Jesus is God, we are in big trouble. And so here is Mary holding Jesus, who is God. She is Jesus' mother. And so the church boldly proclaims that Mary is the mother of God. And we say in the creed that Jesus is the Jesus who is God from God, light from light, true God from true God. We know him to be the second person of the Trinity. Right, and so consubstantial, the same substance with God the Father. So Jesus is God. That cannot be denied. And so through him, through Jesus, all things were made. So Mary is the mother of her own Creator. Now, if you understand the human person, you understand that the person is always a relation. Right, we always stand in relationship with one another. So if you have the son, you must necessarily have the mother, and if you have the mother, you must necessarily have the child, the son or the daughter. And if you have a mother, you must also necessarily have a father. And so here we have this image. We have Joseph, the father, foster father in this case of Jesus, but certainly husband of Mary. So mothers speak to fathers who are husbands, and it's worth preserving that. It certainly is worth preserving. It's worth preserving the truth of motherhood and pondering that on this day. And here we have a more contemporary image. A friend gave me this as a parting gift at a parish that I was at. And you see here the tender feet of a newborn infant, and you see the hands of the mother clasping those tender little feet of the newborn infant. You see the ring on her finger, right? She's married to her husband. And you see the husband, his hands clasping the hands of his wife, who are holding on to the child. A beautiful image of marriage here, marriage and family, from which we get the normative expression of motherhood, a very special gift. These things are worth pondering and protecting and working toward it in our lives. And teaching, and certainly, we have things in our time that want to try to rearrange or readjust. I think it springs from, everybody gets the trophy, whether you're good at something or not. We are afraid that somebody feels left out, right? Every child, every kid on the baseball team gets that trophy. Well, the truth is that some are very, very good, some are excellent, and some of us are not so good at baseball. So, I understand that. I understand that temptation. And there's this expression that we have in our time that it takes a village to raise a child. No, it doesn't, folks. It does not take a village to raise a child. You know what it takes to raise children? It takes a dedicated mother, and a father. I'll talk more about fathers on Father's Day. But the two, you really can't separate the two, mothers and fathers. It takes a dedicated mother and father to raise children. Parents raise children. Moms raise children with dads, right? They raise children. The village cannot raise your children. You know what the village does? The village does important things. It provides municipalities like water and sewer. That's what the village does. It provides electricity, internet. That's a responsibility of the village. But the village does not raise your child and should not be expected to raise your child. The village provides paved streets and concrete sidewalks, right? Stop signs. Those are wonderful things that the village provides, but the village does not raise your children. Mothers, wonderful, wonderful mothers. Mary, she was such an obedient mother. From the first day that the angel Gabriel came to her and announced that she's going to bear a son and name him Jesus, she said yes. She said, "Let it be done to me according to your word. I'm the lowly maidservant of the Lord. I'm the lowly maidservant of the Lord. Let it be done to me according to your word." She said yes. And when Jesus was on the cross, right, Mary was put in charge of taking care of John, the youngest of the apostles. Jesus turns to Mary and says, "Woman, this is your son. This is your son." And Mary was to take care of John, and John was to take care of Mary like a son. And so there we have the importance of a mother. The importance of a mother. I want to read to you from the book of Proverbs. In the book of Proverbs, and chapter 31 from the book of Proverbs, and it speaks of a mother. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10 through 31. Let's read from you in this text here. Let's read to you from this text. A capable wife who can find, she is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. She is like the ships of the merchant. She brings her food from far away. She rises while it is still night and provides food for her household and tasks for her servant girls. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. She puts her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle. She opens her hand to the poor, and she reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid for her household when it snows, for all her household are clothed in crimson. She makes herself coverings. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the city gates, taking his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them. She supplies the merchant with sashes. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her happy, her husband too, and he praises her. Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her a share in the fruit of your hands, and let her works praise her in the city gates. Beautiful words about the importance of motherhood and how hard they work and all that they do and all that they sacrifice And blessings to all of you who are mothers on this Mother's Day, especially those of you who find yourselves more than heavily burdened by this time that we're in because of the coronavirus. Blessings to all mothers who are in healthcare facilities, who are distanced from their loved ones on this Mother's Day. Our heart goes out to all of you. Blessings to all of you. Happy Mother's Day, and God bless you.